Yes, guys, what we saying? How we doing? We are back. We're officially back in Rome. I'm officially back. It's been a long summer. It's been a great summer. It's always hard to get back going, but we have to get back going. We've got another game, our second game of the season on Saturday against Pisa away. Our first away game of the season. There was a lot of hypocrisy around the selling of the tickets for this game. I'm gonna briefly touch that topic because I think it deserves to get at least mentioned in this match preview because it's embarrassing, the pricing of these tickets for an away end. Absolutely embarrassing. But look, we're back. I'm gassed. I want 2 for 2. 2 for 2 would be great. 2 for 2, 6 points out of 6. Going into the first international break would be absolutely perfect. It would be more than perfect, can I add. And let's get this against a team that we should be beating, against a team that, yes, will play on the enthusiasm of playing back in their home ground in the Serie A after so many years, but we should be beating them. And we need to get 2 for 2 into this first international break. Let's get into this. I'm ready. If you are ready, hit the like button. 150 likes would be great, guys. I know you guys can hit it, so please do hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. And yeah, let me know how you're doing. It's been a few days. I was in France. I'm back going now. I'm not going to leave Rome anytime soon. Uni restarts in a few weeks. So we'll be back on a daily basis with the studio, which is covered by the Pisa graphic, but you know, we've still got the scarf and the Roma book and everything behind there. Right, let's speak about this. Oh yeah, first of all, I want to get into the ticket hypocrisy. It's embarrassing. How Pisa treated Roma fans going into this game is absolutely embarrassing. Me and my mates were gonna go. We set this game as our first away game of the season until we looked at those prices and we absolutely threw up. Because €50 for one away end, for one ticket in the away end, plus a €20 activation of a Pisa card in order to buy the ticket in the away end, €70 for one ticket in the away end in a stadium that got its authorization to be valid in the Serie A less than 48 hours ago is absolutely embarrassing. And there is no way I'm paying those clowns €70 for one ticket only. Only the ticket, let alone the train or the fuel if we were going to go by car, the food. €200 for an away trip to Pisa is disgusting. I can understand €70 on the away end if we're going to the Bernabeu, because it's part of the ticket. You know, the experience, the stadium, maybe the museum. It's part of the ticket. But Pisa away, fuck that, you idiots! Absolutely embarrassing pricing. I've never seen such pricing. I've never seen it, and I don't want to make this situation dramatic, but it is dramatic. It's dramatic. It's utter disgusting. Anyways, first rant of the match preview done. Let's get into this. I want to speak about Pisa for a bit, and then of course we'll focus on us. Newly promoted side. Had a good first game. Never easy to go to Bergamo. Gasperini or no Gasperini, it's never easy to play in Bergamo against Atalanta, even though they do have Juric this season, so I cannot wait to see their downfall. But, you know, first game back after a very long while in the first division of Italian football. Tough game against Atalanta. Managed to get a 1-1 draw. Probably deserved to lose, but who cares? You need to grind points if you're a relegation team. And those points, the grinded points, are the points that at the end of the season can maybe give you a chance at staying up. I don't think they're going to stay up. I mean, it's very early. We're 2 game weeks into the season, not even 2 game weeks into the season. I hope they get relegated with all the pricing and the chaos that we away fans got for this game. I don't wish them the best after €70 in the away end. You can go back down in the city, be straight back down. I don't give a shit. Yeah, but jokes aside, I don't think they're going to make it, because I think in order to try and compete, you need to add, the jump between the Serie B and the Serie A is massive. It's massive. It's not as massive as in other leagues, in my opinion, because you look at the Premier League and it's like 3 years in a row now that whoever gets promoted goes straight back down. I do think there's a bit more competitiveness at the end of our table, because I think a lot of teams are weak, but they are definitely one of the weakest. The only thing that, in my opinion, can make us struggle on Saturday is the fact that they're going to play this game with the enthusiasm of a newly promoted side, first game back at home, after a very long while. And Pisa, historically, is a well-known Serie A side. They've been in the Serie B for many years now, but years ago, my father tells me that they were constantly in the Serie A, so they are a pretty well-pronounced team in the first division. They've got a good fan base. Of course, Pisa, having the Leaning Tower of Pisa, it also grabs that media attention. Similar to Como, not as much, but you get the point. Look, speaking about the team, manager is not bad. I think Gilardino knows the Serie A, and that's already a step up, because there are many teams that get promoted that stick with their manager, which is great. Of course, you can't sack a manager because you get promoted, but realistically speaking, they're going to bring you nowhere. At least Gilardino had pretty mid seasons with Genoa. Gilardino, I remember when we faced Gilardino's Genoa, we normally struggled. I remember that defeat with Mourinho, 4-1, I think it was. It was the beginning of the start of the season a few years ago. Gilardino is, I'm not going to say an amazing manager, but he at least has a little bit of a Serie A experience. In terms of the players they added, they did a few smart signings, the last one being Stengs from Feyenoord. Whenever we faced Feyenoord in the Europa League a few seasons ago, I always thought Stengs was one of their best players, especially in De Rossi's Feyenoord game. Stengs was one of the best players in that Feyenoord side that we beat on penalties. And to see that he signed for Pisa is kind of surprising, because it really means that, I'd have expected him signing for at least a better club. But that's a good signing. Quadrado and Nzola, they added a bit of an experience moving into the Serie A. I don't think it's going to be enough. I expect us to win. I think we will win, not to jinx it. But yeah, I'm not going to say it's going to be an easy game, because the start of the season, away games, we've been good with away games with Ranieri, but remember, before Ranieri we were absolutely terrible away. Their fans are going to rock it, because it's their first game back in a while at home in the Serie A. I'm not going to say it's going to be the easiest, but I expect us to win. The quality will prevail, and hopefully we will win. Moving on to us. I think there were a lot of... First of all, speaking on behalf of the title that I gave today's video, we're almost at the end of the transfer window, and we're delaying signings too much. We really are. The team is not complete. This team, yes, played a great first game, but if we think that this team is able to fight on three fronts based on the way we played the first game of the season, you're delusional. The depth that we currently have is ridiculous. This team, especially with Gasperini, who squeezes energy out of these players every single day, if we don't sign anyone in the next days until the 1st of September, which is when the transfer window closes, we're going to struggle as hell and we won't make top 4. This team is... The squad depth of this team is embarrassing. You need to add quality, and I'm not in a position to blame Massara, because you can blame Massara for a few things. One of the things is waiting for that prick of Sancho for almost a month. Not a month, but 3 weeks waiting for that idiot, trying to convince him to say yes. All those 3 weeks for him to completely reject us. You had to move on. You had to move on. You wasted so much time. I think, yeah, we need somebody. I mean, we need a left winger. I don't even want to think about El Shaarawy starting games, and I love El Shaarawy, but El Shaarawy can't start games. I said this in the match reaction post Bologna. There is no world where we can present ourselves this season with El Shaarawy starting. There isn't. You're not serious if you do that. He's a great sub, super sub, but he's not a starting material player. You need speed. You need somebody who dribbles, man. El Shaarawy used to do that, but years ago. He's past that now. So you need a left winger. You need another midfielder. Everyone looks at me crazy. I said I was talking with my friends about Roma's transfer, and I went, we need another midfielder. And everyone looked at me, no, we need other positions first. Okay, I agree. We need other positions first in the sense that we need a left winger. But we need another midfielder. El Shaarawy is going to leave for AFCON in January. And I'd assume Morocco are one of the favourites to win that thing. If Morocco advance into latter rounds, El Shaarawy would miss around 8 games. If El Shaarawy is out, you only have Kone Cristante and Pisilli at time of speaking. Or are you having a laugh and you're telling me we don't need another midfielder? Like, it's absolutely embarrassing. We need another midfielder as well. And I mean, of course, it's wishful thinking because we're not going to get these signings done now because we've got 3 days left, maybe 4. We need another centre-back because the same discussion applies to Ndika. I think Ivory Coast are probably one of the best teams, so he'll advance and you'll miss 8 games. That period of AFCON is crucial. And I'm sorry, but this team can go well in September, October, November, and then the squad depth is going to come in. It's going to kick in. These players are going to be absolutely knackered, and we're there making the same mistake again and again and again, and we won't get top 4. And nobody can be surprised if we don't get top 4 again, because you tell me how this squad depth can get top 4 compared to the others. Like Gasperini is so right when he says that he ain't happy. I ain't happy. This transfer window has not been good. I had way better expectations at the start. I knew the complications. I knew everything that was going on with FFP, and I knew this. But, you know, signing a manager like Gasperini means that you need to back him. You can't appoint him and then not back him. So I'm not a fan of this transfer window one bit. I haven't been a fan. So yeah, I mean, speaking about the game, I think, of course, question marks on the physical condition are always there because we're at the start of the season. And yes, the Bologna game was surprising in a positive way because I wasn't expecting the players to keep the rhythm so much and the intensity going for so much. Can we do it game after game after game? I do have question marks. I would be very surprised if we can keep another 90 minutes of pressing high, transitioning fast, and everything. Of course, that's what Gasperini wants to do, but it's not easy to see these players do whatever the manager asks them immediately and to keep it going for 90 minutes full game. So I think the physical condition always remains with a question mark up to now, in my opinion. But as I said before, quality prevails, quality will prevail. Soulé, Ferguson, Dybala, Kone, these are players that teams like Pisa, they need to absolutely demolish them. And yeah, I mean, we've got an international break coming up after this game. As I said at the start, 6 points out of 6 going into the first international break is something that I don't think we did in a very long while. It would be good also for the confidence and for the players that stay in Rome who didn't get a call up. It would add materials to work on when the international break is on. International break right now is ridiculous in my opinion. I think it's not fair to stop the league after 2 games to play some stupid games. So yeah, I'm not a fan of international breaks, let alone after 2 game weeks. Predicted 11. Predicted 11 is same as Bologna, but with Hermoso instead of Ghilardi. I did predict Ghilardi to start against Bologna, but Hermoso played a very good game, so of course he's going to start with Mancini and Ndika, Angelino, Kone. I still think Cristante starts ahead of El Ainaoui just yet, because Gasperini and Cristante have already worked together, so they already had a base to work with this summer that other players, new arrivals, didn't have. So I do think Cristante starts. Wesley, of course, if he can score again, the world will collapse. Up front, Elsha, Matti and Ferguson. I can see El Ainaoui start ahead of El Shaarawy. It was a possibility that Gasperini spoke about in his press conference for Bologna. There was a possibility of seeing El Ainaoui advanced. I think he suits that position, but I do think El Shaarawy will start this game. Matti and Ferguson. I said this in the Zoom post Bologna. Matti performs better away from home than at home. So these are the games that I'm expecting Matti to put a show on and potentially score worldies. Paolo, I think, will come on off the bench. He isn't ready to start yet. I'm not going to repeat the same things that I said against Bologna, but he's not ready to start just yet. It's perfect for him to have a gradual reintegration with the squad, play half an hour there, 40 minutes there, 20 minutes there, move into I reckon move into November like this. Of course, he's going to start some games, but I wouldn't focus on Dybala as a starting player in the first 3 months. He isn't fit. It's a tendon. He had tendon surgery. Remember, it's very delicate. So, in my opinion, to keep Dybala going for longer and to have him preserved for longer this season, September, October, maybe November as well, use him as a super sub, let him have a half an hour in that game, 40 minutes in that game, let him start that game, and then sub him off. Rotate him, but gradually put him in. He doesn't have 90 minutes in his legs, and it would be only a risk to play Dybala for 90 minutes up to now. So then, of course, Christmas, he'll get his fitness back going. He will have, hopefully, fingers crossed, kind of thrown away his injury and the post-injury problems. And in the second half of the season, when it will count the most, especially in Europe and in the crucial games in the league and the Coppa Italia, hopefully we advance there this season, we can have a Dybala who's ready to kill games. So that's my predicted 11, and not many surprises compared to the Bologna game. Just Hermoso starting. I think he played a very good game. Right, let's read some comments. I think the first half of the season we will be surviving, says Harry. I think the opposite. If we don't add squad depth, in my opinion, it's going to be the opposite. It's going to be, if we don't add squad depth, it's going to be one of those seasons where we start very good, and then you get to after Christmas that the players are depleted, and of course you won't win games anymore. So, like, I to be honest with you, I had better expectations. So we haven't got much left. That's the thing. I keep on seeing every day, Roma's interested in this guy, Roma's interested in this guy, Roma's interested in this guy, and we end up signing no one. Like, being interested is good, but you've got 4 days left. You need to hurry up. Milan ended the Nkunku deal, which I don't think is a good deal, but just to show you the speed of closing deals, 42 million for an injury-prone Nkunku. If I were a Milan fan, I'd chain myself for protest. But, you know, it just puts to mind that Milan closed the Nkunku deal in 24 hours, less than 24 hours. This is simply one, of course, Milan have got more money and everything, but this is one thing that we've never been able to do end deals in a fast way. Our deals, our negotiations always last for months. For months. We've been licking Sancho's balls for weeks and weeks and weeks just for him to say, no, I don't want to join. Same with Richard Rios at the start of the transfer window. You know, if a player doesn't want to join, the first thing you have to ask a player in a negotiation is, do you want to join? If he says no, move on. Can't be there 3 weeks. Gasperini really pushed to sign Sancho, so I can understand. But, you know, that's where Massara needs to go. He doesn't want to join, move on. We can't be spending weeks and weeks and weeks chasing players. I can understand Lamine Yamal, but Sancho ain't Lamine Yamal. So, yeah, timings have always been a problem. You can't blame Ricky for waiting on Sancho. That's all on Gasperini. GASP only wanted him, says LB. Time to make the children in Primavera do child labour. We don't need another centre-back. We have Mancini, Hermoso, Ghilardi. Oh, yeah, of course, you're right. I forgot about the Polish defender signing. Yeah, I agree. New centre-back is not a priority. Of course, in an ideal world, I would add another centre-back. But I completely forgot about the Polish guy. So, yeah, I apologise. But again, that's another example. You know why I completely forgot about the Polish guy? I completely forgot about the Polish guy because the first rumours of us being interested in signing that young player from Legia Varsavia in Poland, I'm not joking, it was almost a month ago. And he's still not in Rome. Like, you can't have difficulties in signing a 2005 kid from Poland. You can't be having those problems if you want to back the manager. If you want to start a project which is based on backing the manager, you can't spend 1 month negotiating for a Polish kid who is still not in Rome. Where is he? Everyone says that, here we go, where is he? He still hasn't landed. Like, why does it take so much time? Chansimo, do you see GASP using Pellegrini if he does it all? I think, yeah, the last thing, I'll answer to this and then I'm going to end it. If Pellegrini doesn't get sold, Gasperini is contractually obligated to use him. And of course you'll use him and you're trying to revitalise him. I think the club is trying to sell him in these last 4 days. I don't think we will manage to sell him in these last 4 days. So I think he won't leave. I think he'll leave in January. I think he leaves in January because if he leaves in January, we don't lose him on a free. And the way Pellegrini has handled this situation is it deserves an applause. I mean, you can love and hate Pellegrini, but any player, Roman or non-Roman, who in the first press conference of the season has a manager say the club wants to sell him, would literally stop working. Pellegrini, you can love him and hate him. I think his time is done. I would love for Gasperini to drag him and him to revitalise Pellegrini. I don't think it's going to happen. But the way he's handled this situation, knowing that the club wants to sell him, being the captain, being stripped of your armband and continuing to work with a smile deserves applause. Applause is from him. So, yeah. Anyways, Pisa on Saturday. I'll catch you tomorrow. Europa League draw and Gasperini's press conference reaction. Double stream tomorrow. Double whammy. Hit the like. 150 likes for this match for you would be great. It's great to be back, guys. Yeah, hit the like, subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Simo out.